Mario's Time Machine for the Super Nintendo. I remember getting this game as a kid. I think I might have gotten 2 games at one time. Of course, they were like at bargain prices. It was this game. And I also got Supernova, which is also known as Darius Force. I ended up really not liking that game so much that I ended up throwing the cart in the garbage. And then when my mom found it, she like took it. I was like, come on, you gotta at least give this a try since, well, she spent money on it. And like over the years, I finally like put a bit more time into it and figured out how to actually play the game. So Bowser just steals artifacts so he can mess with time. Like, he could've just, like, used the time machine to, like, stop Mario's parents from, like, requesting the twins. Could've done so much, but instead, like, no, I'm just gonna mess with famous people. So basically, you just grab an artifact, and then you fill in the blanks. Outbreak Black Plague. Newton invented calculus, made major discoveries in optics, and formulated his famous theory of... I want to say gravity? Gravitation. Newton's 3 laws of... Too bad you have to go through them one at a time. Like, you gotta look at all these words, you gotta find out which one makes sense, which in this case, it's motion. Revolutionized both physics and astronomy. He also discovered the blank of white light. I think it's a spectrum of white light? Yes. And invented the first reflecting telescope. Although London's Royal Academy of Science made him a full-fledged member at the young age of... I'm gonna say 30? Newton actually waited many years before publishing his discoveries in 2 landmark books. I think it's a Principia. So, if I'm not reading through all this text, there's a reason for that. There's actually 2 endings. Actually, 3 endings. There's one if you get the artifacts in the wrong order. So you have to, like, grab them from, like, the same order for each floor. And there's another one if you take too long. If you actually did not know the answers, you go to the time period. Also, this looks, very hokey. Sometimes the mushrooms will not spawn until they're right next to you. Like, if you didn't actually know the answers when you're filling in the blanks, you just go to the time period, you pass over items to other people, and they'll give you the answers. Which in this, weirdly enough, you gotta press the X button to go in here. Here, take this apple. Now, gravity exists. We did it. Imagine if you didn't actually return the apple, that everything just floats forever. There you go, get a new password. Alright, there's the shield. That's for Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc, an illiterate 15th century farm girl. Voices of, I think it was 3 saints? Led the French troops against the English. Armed with the sword of... I think it's St. Catherine? Joan led an army of... It wasn't 1,000 men. 4,000 men? Yes. What was that big arm that was Mario's arm? That's for, like, controlling the time machine to go back. The Siege of Orleans. Joan's soldiers routed the enemy repeatedly and took back enough land to allow the Dauphin to be crowned King Charles VII. Tryon convicted, yeah, heresy, and that's when they burned her at the stake. I forget what the year was. I think it was 1429. Yep, somewhere just before the Renaissance. See, you gotta do this every time. So if you don't have 10 mushrooms, by the time you go in the whirlpool, you're just sent back to the museum. See, remember, you gotta do this first. Look at this war zone over there. You could be needing this. Here, take this shield so they can eventually die. It might have been possible. Like, keep in mind, like, before the Renaissance, well, I guess even during the Renaissance and, like, the Middle Ages, Mercury was definitely, quite around. Nope, not in Florence. Not Caprice either. Venice? Yeah, if you get 3 wrong, you're kicked out. And then you have to try it again. Oh, duh. Vinci. Now, sometimes you just gotta use a bit of common sense. Like, if it's about 1505, pretty sure he was not born after that. (1452). Intellectual reawakening, that would be the Renaissance. That is true, Kara. I was actually bringing that up. Like, if you actually take the time to learn things, you get punished for it. Later worked in Milan and Rome, was employed by a series of wealthy meritocracy? No. Patrons. There's also a sculptor, architect, and was in an Assassin's Creed game. He was a Renaissance man. Famous notebooks used backward handwriting for security purposes. And Leonardo's fresco of the Last Supper and his portrait of Mona Lisa. Alright, so Florence 1505. There's actually only 2 eras that are BC, which is kind of funny. Yeah, like in Assassin's Creed 2, There are some, like, storylines where you actually interact with Leonardo da Vinci. And he develops the hidden blade, where you actually don't have to give up one of your fingers. Alright, that's where he lives. I found your notebooks. Shouldn't Mona Lisa be smiling? Wow, Mario. That's a bit rude and sexist of you. Like, Mona Lisa would look better if she smiled. And she's also not getting any tattoos either. Which, of course, Mona Lisa did not have tattoos. Alright, we'll just take this sheet music. The Austrian music capital of Vienna. Born in, not 1824, maybe 1770? This is a lot different from the NES version, exactly. First piano concert at age 8. Said to have met Wolfgang Mozart. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. 1787. Jeez, when he was like 17, too. Ear problems suffered for years worsened and he became totally... well, he became totally deaf. He became such an original composer because he couldn't even hear the music. Oh, lived in the palace of his royal patrons, admired the world over, had a bad temper, messy habits, and a mean tongue. And that explains why he never married. I don't know, nowadays that's how you get married. First Symphony in 1800? Okay, the 9th Symphony was probably 1824, yes. And then he died 3 years later. Oh, I passed it. Also, if you get the year wrong, you have to go back to the museum. Yeah, like, all the, Koopalings were inspired by musicians. So, for anybody wondering, like, how many artifacts there are 15. This is the 4th one. Is this your music? Here it is. Mario does not like his music, he's just being polite. Alright, this should be the Declaration of Independence. Now, of course, this is about Thomas Jefferson. Became a leader in the Virginia House of... I'm gonna say stonecutters? No. Burgesses. This famous paper is a summary view of the rights of... not English America. British America, of course. He insisted that colonial ties with England were... Definitely not good.
God darn
Voluntary.
it! Why won't you
Relax as a
die?
public. I'm gonna say speaker? Certainly made up for by his powerful writing. For this reason, Jefferson was chosen to write the Declaration of Independence. Only to get snatched up by Nicolas Cage centuries later. What a way to go. It was written on July 4th! Jefferson never married again because he lost his wife. Wasn't a wizard. Second vice president and the third. Not government in the United States. What's the word that goes here? Oh, president! Returned to the home he had designed, his beloved Monticello, I believe. And founder of the University of Virginia, scientist. Blank. Isn't farmer? Yep. Philadelphia, 1776. That's where we gotta go. Not Philadelphia like 1776 BC. That would make for a very weird time. What is this Philadelphia you're talking about? Obviously, you're not talking about the cream cheese. Here, I figured I'd return that, otherwise the English rule again. And we can't have that. No offense, Samurai. I don't know if he's still in the chat. Okay, now we go to the next floor, where you get 5 more artifacts. Menlo Park, 1879, that's for Thomas Edison. Also known as New Jersey's Wizard of Menlo Park. Retiring the flickering light and funny smells from old, dangerous gas lamps. Learning of a similar invention in Britain? No? Oh, maybe England. Oh no, Europe. Edison tried over. Okay, you can just brute force this. It doesn't even punish you that much outside of time. 200 types of material. To find a long burning filament, I believe. Eventually discovered that carbonized metal, I think. Oh, but I think I passed it. Thought I'd be filament again for some reason. Oh, carbonized bamboo. Who best remembers the inventor of the incandescent light bulb? Also products like the photograph, the alkaline battery, and motion pictures. Edison's also credited with owning more? More fireworks? No. Patents, I think. Receiving more than 1,000 in his lifetime. Later in life, he was quoted saying, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." Hey there, Juan. Good to see you. Menlo Park, 1879. Where is it? Oh, past it. He was the one who made the first cat video? Who, Edison? He knew what the people wanted even back then. Did he also invent the chair with the extra legs so you don't fall? I understand that reference. Hey, Wiz, or Mr. Edison. Whenever I see a light bulb go off in my head, I'm on to something good. Get it? When are we gonna see Green Mario? Sadly, Luigi does not exist in this game. Ah, Gobi Desert in 1292. Marco Polo was born in the Italian trading port of... let's say Venice. 1254 AD, Western world knew little of the Far East. Marco's father... I think it's Lorenzo. Niccolo? Merchants who had on the eastern capital of the Chinese Emperor Kublai Khan in 1266. When Polo set out again for China in 1271, they took 17-year-old Marco with them. A journey of more than 3 years, thankfully it was only 3 years, including a crossing of the England Desert! No, it's the Gobi Desert. Brought to them Kublai Khan's capital of Kamboluk, now known as Beijing. Khan took a liking to Marco and employed him for 17 years in enterprises all over Asia. Marco discovered wonders unknown in Europe, including paper money, coal, spectacles, and fireworks. Polo's finally returned to Venice in 1295 after escorting a Mongolian princess to the Khan of Persia. Back home, Marco was captured during a war between Venice and Genoa. On prison, he wrote his treasures in the not histories of Marco Polo. Not tragedies. Oh, maybe histories? No, I think I already said that one. I was wrong. Not Bibles. Not the death of Marco Polo. And not history. So that's wrong too. Truth? No? Ah, shit. What is it? Scribe? No? Book! It was a book! For the next... let's say 500 years? I was right. Imagine it, the book was called a book. $12.92. Yep, we're learning today. Luigi cared enough to save his brother countless times. Yeah, because he's a pro, not a jerk. And they also need to have something for him to do so he can actually be a hero. Ah, here you go, your printing block. And now you can leave. Most people think that Luigi and Mario hate each other? That they're dumb. Like, that is such a dumb take to have. 369, okay, it's the Play-Doh time. Ancient Greece. One of the most noted of these philosophers was Plato. In 387 BC, he found what was said to be the first republic. When was the first university? Was there a university? Yeah, known as the Academy. School survived for over 900 years. That's a long time. How long was Oxford there? Was it around 900 years? I know it was one of the oldest universities. Plato taught his students through a dialogue of questions and answers. He learned this so-called passive Socratic method from his own teacher, Socrates? One of Plato's students, Aristotle, became a philosopher scientist himself. Oxford might have been around for over 700 years. Interesting. Plato examined such questions and ideas as, what is wisdom? What is truth? To some people, truth is like, depending on what one person says and how many subscribers they have. There are people that still think the earth is flat. What is the best form of government, I think? The teachings of Plato have influenced Western civilization for couldn't be that many centuries. "24 centuries. Ideas were found in as many works, including the republic? Which should contain that the best form of government would be a meritocracy of ruling philosophers. And obviously that didn't happen. So remember, like, when it comes to, like, 3-digit years or less than that, make sure you put a 0 first. Oh, wait. I'm not done yet. There we go. I had to make sure it was set to BC first. Oh, predates the Aztec Empire. Interesting. Imagine if you actually got to go to see the Aztec Empire in this game. And he's like, oh, why does Luigi have his heart carved out? Why am I holding... Oh, no. Well, at least the son in Mario 3 is happy. Luigi's gone forever now. Can I request the Thompsons games? We're not taking any requests right now for these. Maybe if any slots open up, if they ever do. Okay, the transformation from a small island nation to a world power. That'd be England. During the 45-year reign of one of the country's most greatest monarchs, Queen Elizabeth I. Good Queen Bess. She's finally known by her subjects for her strength and wisdom, despite many problems she faces Queen. Hers was a kingdom troubled by deep religious divisions and a war with Spain's king. Not Delcano. Philip II. The famous sea battle with his... What was it? Armada? Spanish Armada was successful but costly. Finally, countless plots against Elizabeth were attributed to her enemies, including her cousin Mary, Queen of Scots. When Mary fled to England after abdicating the Scottish throne, Elizabeth had her confined for some 16 years. Ultimately, Mary was accused of treason, I think. And done away with. Was, however, Elizabeth's generous support of the arts and sciences from William Shakespeare and World Explorer. Sir Francis Drake. You hear Francis Drake a little bit during the first Uncharted game. That was a good game. Alright, we gotta go to London, 1595. Or Mario could just take the crown and he becomes the Queen of England. Who's to stop him? He can jump really high. Can the English do that? Can the English, like the ye old English, jump? Has there been any documentation of ye old English jumping? If I haven't heard about it, it doesn't exist. It is confirmed. In the old days, they could not jump. Oh, not there. Oh, there's the Queen. Canada does not have a monarchy, but we pretty much still, like, hold on to the British monarchy. Like, we're still under the Commonwealth. But Canada does not have its own monarchy, no. Oh, the Indian flag. Few political leaders have earned the prestige of Mohandas K. Gandhi. Born in India in 1869, he studied law in Britain and settled in South Africa. There he protested unjust laws with campaigns called I want to say Satyagraha, meaning grasping for the truth. After some success, Gandhi returned to India in before 1915. A land ruled by the British since a long-ass time. 1757. Okay, I think it was called the Mahatma, like Mahatma Gandhi. United Indian factions extracted British concessions by threatening to fast himself to death. In 1942, when he refused to support the British in World War II. Only in games because AI was messed up? Oh yeah, about the Civilization games. When Gandhi would declare nuclear war often. Who's the Viceroy? Mountbatten? Which led to independence and partition of India and Pakistan, though Gandhi was mortally wounded 1 year later. His enduring legacy is the practice of passive resistance, which I passed. Calcutta, 1947. That's where I gotta go. Couple years removed from World War II as well. That is quite funny that they saw like, oh yeah, people loved it. We're just gonna keep it in. See, that's a good example of game devs being like, well, this wasn't supposed to happen, but people like it. So maybe we should just, I don't know, go back to it regularly as a joke. People also said the same with Mother Teresa, but Mother Teresa definitely did not drop nukes. That we know of. Oh wow, the flag just pops up instantly. Cool. We did it. You are a country now. Alright, now for the third and final floor. Oh look, you got Roy, I think that's Ludwig, and there's Lemmy there, or Larry. Got sconces now. Johann Gutenberg was growing up in Germany. Turn of 15th century, books were very rare and expensive because... yeah, back then, if you wanted like 100 copies of a book, there was one person that had to write them all at once. Since Johann was a child of great curiosity who loved to read, he knew a faster, easier way to make books. Luckily, Johann had inherited a large fortune. This allowed him to dedicate all his time to the invention that would soon change the world. Finding a way to print words so that you can, like, make so many books all at once. Tried carving letters from wood, but the printing came out wicked and blurry. Spending all of his father's money during the... Not 37 years, 39 years? How about 24 years? Huh. 30 years. 30 actually shows up twice. To perfect the printing press. Final press made with movable metal type worked perfectly. His childhood dream realized at last. Johann printed his first books in 1455. They are known today as Gutenberg Bibles. Was there any, like, evidence that Mother Teresa did some evil things? Or is it all just hearsay? Like, I would imagine not everybody's perfect. We also gotta consider what was considered good and what was considered evil at the time. Like, what we would consider, like, really bad now. Was it really bad during that time as well? Then again, Mother Teresa wasn't even that long ago. I just gotta find his house. This must be your house. Wow, the inventors almost look alike. Gutenberg and Da Vinci nearly look the same. Oh, I think that's the steering wheel or the astrolabe. The importance of perseverance is few better examples than Ferdinand Magellan when Columbus reached America in 1492 and fought Christopher Columbus. He thought he found a western shortcut to... not Asia. I think it was India. By 1519, however, when Magellan's 5 ships sailed west to find the... Spice Islands? Explorers suspected that the Americas were a vast new region unconnected to Asia. After a year exploring the eastern coast of the New World for a way west, Magellan entered the rough seas between Tierra del Fuego and the tip of South America. After 39 days of struggle, Magellan entered the vast Pacific Ocean. Sailing west, his crew endured malnutrition and scurvy until they reached the Philippines. There, Magellan was the victim of hostile natives, but Juan Sebastian Delcano pressed on. Victoria, the sole remaining ship, rounded the Cape of Africa and returned to Spain. Thus, Magellan's expedition became the first to sail around the globe. In doing so, it demonstrated the true scale of the... I thought globe would be there again. The oceans and proved that the Americas were indeed a new world. I mean, they weren't all that new. There were still people there. Wasn't new to them. Like, around that time, there were, like, tons of, indigenous tribes. I know Canada had lots of them too, like before there was even a Canada. Oh, you'll be needing that. Wasn't Magellan killed? I think he was. I think they covered it right there when he got to the Philippines. Got captured by natives. I think he was killed by those natives. Oh, the chisel. Michelangelo Buonarroti. Buonarroti? I can't pronounce Italian names that well. I was born in Caprese, Italy. On March 6th, 1475. Raised by a family of... patrons? No. Was it sculptors? No. No, stonecutters! At the age of 13, his apprentice learned the basics of the painting at the Ghirlandaio Brothers studio. Michelangelo considered himself a sculptor, and he broke his contracts and went studying in the sculpture gardens of the great patron Lorenzo de' Medici. Indeed, Michelangelo's fame as a sculptor is unmatched. Remarkable Pieta was carved when he was only 23. Shortly after, or thereafter, his 13.5 foot David was wrought from a single block of marble. Commissioned to paint the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, though, Michelangelo implored Pope Julius II that Raphael could do better. Ironically, result was a true masterpiece. Like, no matter what Michelangelo did, he just wanted to have something with dicks on it. It's like, oh fine, I'll paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling, but I'm gonna put dongs everywhere. And indeed he did. What a legacy to have. I think there was like a Twitch streamer that was showing like Renaissance art, and Twitch actually banned him for a period of time because he was showing nudity, even though the nudity was actual Renaissance art. Man, they had to be very careful to make sure you don't actually see the weenus in a Mario game. I mean, how would I want to go? If I had a choice, I probably wouldn't go unless it was old age. But, if I had to choose, it'd probably be Snoo Snoo. 1601 AD is where I gotta go. Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, King Lear, Othello, Macbeth. How many of these Shakespeare arts did you read in high school? Oh, not great as an actor. Playwright and poet in English literature? William Shakespeare. Born over 400 years ago in 1564, Shakespeare's plays still performed throughout the world, blah blah blah. It said that Shakespeare wrote a for Queen Elizabeth I. a play just for her. We had like a Romeo and Juliet. We also had Macbeth. And we had Twelfth Night and Midsummer Night's Dream. An actor as well as an author, Shakespeare is known to have written some... Not 200. 1,000? 24? No. $37. Among them were... I think tragedies? Oh. Histories, such as Richard III and Henry V. Comedies, such as The Taming of the Shrew and Twelfth Night. Okay, tragedies goes here, because Romeo and Juliet was a tragedy. We saw that one with Leonardo DiCaprio as well. They had guns. Imagine actually seeing that in school. Most of Shakespeare's plays were first performed at the open-roofed Globe Theatre where bad weather? The canceled performance. Shakespeare lived until 1616. Having a modest fortune, was buried in the village at Stratford upon Avon. It tells you right there on the top. Stratford, 1601. Okay. Oh, welcome back, Tony. We're on the second last artifact right now. Beowulf, I don't think I read that in school. I've only watched the movie, like the CGI movie, that had Angelina Jolie in it. It was... meh. Oh, you're not Shakespeare. Bye. You're Shakespeare. I got York now. Read and watch The Outsiders? No. Okay, I don't think we're gonna be getting a 20,000 score, or even 18,000. So I guess we'll drop off Cleopatra's shit. Upon their father's passing, Cleopatra and her brother were named to rule the kingdom of Egypt. However, Cleopatra's selfish brother... I think it was Ptolemy the 12th? Didn't wish to share the throne, so he banished his sister from the capital city of Alexandria. It's up to the Roman ruler... Mark Antony? No? Oh, Julius Caesar, who served as Egypt's... guardian to restore Cleopatra to her throne. Thus, a second coronation was held for the queen in the year 47 BC. Meanwhile, Caesar fell deeply in love with Cleopatra. She eventually bore him a son named Caesarion. However, on March 15, 44 BC, Caesar was done away with by members of the Roman Senate, one of Rome's new leaders. That's Mark Antony, not the one that used to be married to J-Lo. And then they took their own lives. The end. Hey there, Nightlight Maker. Good to see you. I saw you followed earlier. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. was 47, right? I think it was 47. Oh yeah, much appreciated. We're just about to finish this game anyway. Got it. Ah, there's Cleopatra's place. I believe there's a DOS version of this. There might be? I only know of the SNES version and the NES one. There were plenty of, DOS Mario games, like teaching typing even. Alright, let's see if we got the good ending. I mean, we should. We got there in enough time. Don't work over there! Overload! So here, I'm in prehistoric times now. It's so small! And then it gets Monty Pythoned. Bowser is dead. We did it. So that, if you get there fast enough, this happens. Bowser just gets crushed. If you take too long, Bowser will end up actually going to a beach island. I like artist is like an ellipsis. Like, why? So yeah, I've actually seen the back of the box for Mario's Time Machine. And let me tell you, they actually show a platforming section with this background. And it's not in the actual game. Like, it was such false advertising. Like, if you haven't seen it, just look up Mario's Time Machine SNES box. And there might be like a screenshot of the back. Like, you'll see something that was not in the game. I wonder if there was even a prototype of this that actually has the platforming. Were I emulating it? Emulating what? This game? I mean, it's a bit easier to set up that way. The end. But I used to own the cart for this.